This is ancient Israel, a land groaning under oppression. King Jabin's iron fist crushed the spirit of the people. Sisera, his ruthless commander, instilled fear. The Israelites cried out to God for deliverance. Deborah, a prophetess, listened to their pleas. She sat under the palm tree, a judge and a beacon. Her wisdom and courage were renowned throughout the land. God spoke to Deborah, revealing his plan. She summoned Barak, a warrior of great strength. Barak stood before her, ready to serve. Deborah relayed God's command. Gather 10,000 men. Confront Sisera's mighty army at Mount Tabor. Barak hesitated, a shadow of doubt in his eyes. If you will go with me, I will go, he said. But if you will not go, I will not go. Deborah's gaze was firm, unwavering in faith. I will surely go with you, she replied. But a woman will get the glory, she prophesied. The Lord will sell Sisera into a woman's hand. Barak accepted her condition, his resolve strengthened. Deborah and Barak journeyed to Kadesh together. He summoned the tribes of Zebulun and Naphtali. 10,000 men answered Barak's call to arms. They prepared for battle, their hearts filled with hope. News of Barak's gathering reached Sisera's ears. He mobilized his forces, a formidable sight. 900 chariots of iron, ready for war. The stage was set for a clash of destinies. The fate of Israel hung in the balance. Deborah's prophecy echoed in the air. A woman's role in this epic struggle. The oppression had lasted too long. The people were ready for freedom. Deborah's faith was the catalyst. Barak's courage was the weapon. God's power was the ultimate force. The anticipation was palpable. The air was thick with tension. The moment of truth was approaching. Would Israel be delivered, or would they remain enslaved? The answer lay in the coming battle, and in the actions of a courageous woman. The sun beat down on Mount Tabor. The warriors stood ready, their eyes fixed on the horizon, waiting for the enemy to appear. Deborah prayed for guidance. Barak sharpened his sword. The army held their breaths. The clash was imminent. Freedom or oppression, life or death, hope or despair. The questions lingered. The answer was near. The battle begins soon. The future awaits. Destiny calls. The stage is set. Deborah's prophecy hung in the air as Barak prepared for battle. Barak led 10,000 men towards Mount Tabor's peak. Sisera's army, a formidable force, advanced into the Kishon Valley below. 900 chariots of iron rumbled, a terrifying sight. Deborah, eyes fixed on the valley, felt the moment approaching. This is the day, she declared, her voice ringing with authority. The Lord has given Sisera into your hand. Barak, hearing her words, raised his sword high. The Israelite army surged forward, a wave of righteous fury. The Lord threw Sisera and his entire army into confusion. Chariots crashed, horses screamed, soldiers fell in disarray. Barak and his men charged into the chaos, swords flashing. Sisera, witnessing the rout, abandoned his chariot in panic. He fled on foot, desperate to escape the battlefield. Barak relentlessly pursued the fleeing enemy. No one survived the onslaught. The valley ran red. The Israelite soldiers rejoiced, their victory complete. The power of King Jabin was broken on that day. But Sisera, the commander, was still at large. He stumbled through the countryside, exhausted and afraid. He sought refuge, a place to hide from the pursuing Israelites. He spotted a tent in the distance, a flicker of hope. It was the tent of Jael, wife of Heber the Kenite. Heber's clan was at peace with King Jabin, a safe haven. Sisera approached the tent cautiously, seeking aid. Jael emerged, her face calm and welcoming. "Come in, my lord," she said, her voice soothing. "Come into my tent. Do not be afraid." Sisera gratefully accepted her invitation, unaware of the danger. He entered the tent, seeking rest and protection. Jael led him to a comfortable spot and offered him a blanket. He gratefully accepted, his body aching with fatigue. "I am thirsty," Sisera said, his voice hoarse. "Please, give me a little water to drink." Jael nodded and brought him a skin of milk instead. He drank deeply, the rich liquid calming his nerves. Exhaustion overwhelmed him, and he began to drift to sleep. Jael watched him, her expression unreadable. Sisera's breathing deepened. He was sound asleep. Jael moved silently, her bare feet making no sound. She picked up a tent peg, long and sharp. She also grabbed a heavy hammer, its weight familiar. She approached Sisera, her heart pounding in her chest. He lay vulnerable, completely unaware of the impending doom. Jael raised the tent peg above his head. With a swift, decisive motion, she brought the hammer down. The peg pierced his temple, driving deep into the ground. Sisera's body twitched once, then lay still. Jael stood over him, her task complete. Barak's pursuit led him to Jael's tent. He arrived, sword in hand, searching for Sisera. Jael emerged from the tent, a strange look on her face. "Come," she said to Barak, "I will show you the man you seek." She led him inside the tent, the air thick with tension. Barak gasped at the sight before him. Sisera lay dead, the tent peg protruding from his temple. Jael had delivered the final blow against the enemy. God had subdued Jabin before the Israelites. The victory was complete, the land at peace. Deborah's prophecy had come to pass, a woman's triumph. Sisera, exhausted, runs desperately, the sounds of battle fading behind him. He spots a tent in the distance, a beacon of hope in the vast landscape. Heber the Kenite's tent. Sisera believes he'll find sanctuary. Jael stands at the entrance, seemingly welcoming. Sisera approaches, pleading for refuge, his voice raspy. Jael nods, her eyes betraying nothing. "Come in, my lord." She gestures him inside the tent, a false promise of safety. The interior is dimly lit, cool and quiet. Jael offers Sisera a place to rest, covering him with a blanket. Sisera gratefully accepts, collapsing onto the makeshift bed. "I am thirsty," he whispers, his eyes closing. Jael nods, promising water, but brings him milk instead. He drinks deeply, the rich liquid soothing his parched throat. The milk, combined with exhaustion, quickly lulls him to sleep. Jael watches him, her face hardening with resolve. She moves silently, a shadow in the dim light. Her hand reaches for a tent peg, long and sharp. She picks up a heavy hammer, its weight familiar in her hand. She approaches Sisera, her movements deliberate and silent. He sleeps soundly, unaware of the danger looming above him. Jael raises the hammer, her grip firm. She positions the tent peg against Sisera's temple. A moment of hesitation, then a surge of determination. She brings the hammer down with brutal force. The peg pierces his skull, driving deep into the ground. Sisera's body twitches once, then stills. Jael stands over him, her task complete. The tent is silent, save for the faint sound of her breathing. Time passes. The sun begins to rise. Barak and his men approach, searching for Sisera. Barak spots the tent, his eyes narrowed with suspicion. He calls out, his voice echoing in the morning air. Jael emerges from the tent, calm and composed. "Come, I will show you the man you seek." Barak follows her into the tent, his sword drawn. He gasps at the sight before him. Sisera, dead. The tent peg protrudes grotesquely from his temple. Barak stares at Jael, a mixture of shock and awe on his face. "What have you done?" he asks, his voice hushed. Jael replies, her voice steady. "God has delivered Israel." Barak understands. He lowers his sword, his heart filled with gratitude. He kneels beside Sisera's body, acknowledging the victory. News of Jael's deeds spreads quickly throughout Israel. The people rejoice, celebrating their newfound freedom. Deborah, Barak, and Jael are hailed as heroes. The power of King Jabin is broken. His reign of terror ended. Israel enjoys peace for 40 years, a time of prosperity. Deborah's leadership guides the nation. Barak's courage inspires generations. Jael's bravery becomes a legend. The story is told and retold, a reminder of God's power. The image of the tent peg becomes a symbol of liberation. Children play games, reenacting the battle and Jael's triumph. The land flourishes. Fields yield abundant harvests. Families gather, sharing stories of faith and courage. The memory of Sisera fades, replaced by hope. Israel remembers the price of freedom. They honor those who fought for their deliverance. The victory is attributed to God's intervention. The people remain faithful, grateful for their peace.